The moment this baseball left Matt Latos' hand, went off the bat of Buster Posey and into the second deck before falling down back onto the field at the Great American Ballpark, Reds fans haven't felt much joy. They'd go on to lose this game, losing this best-of-5 series after winning the first two, dropping 3 in a row to the eventual World Series champion San Francisco Giants. That was 2012. The next year, 2013, was a solid year for the Reds as they'd win 90 games heading into September 24th, only to not win a single game for the rest of the year, dropping their last 5 regular season games before being eliminated in Pittsburgh in the wildcard game. And with that followed 9 years of frustration, pain, agony. The Reds actually did make the playoffs at one point in the shortened 2020 season and failed to win a game, so it's hard to count that one, but 2021 was actually pretty exciting at times, with Nick Castellanos going off, same with Jesse Winker, Joey Votto proving he still got it, and the rookie, Jonathan India, winning National League Rookie of the Year. It wouldn't end well, though, as the Reds missed out on October, and then a painful offseason began. Castellanos obviously would leave in free agency, as the Reds were never going to keep him or give him money, with the ownership and front office also trading their best hitters, shipping Eugenio Suarez and Jesse Winker to Seattle, placed solid pitcher Wade Miley on waivers just to be picked up by another team, while also trading another solid starting pitcher, Sonny Gray, to the Twins. So they get rid of all these good players, and as you would expect, the team sucked, with them going on to trade yet another talented piece to Seattle at the deadline. The Reds really love the Mariners for some reason, trading their ace Luis Castillo for 3 of the Mariners' top prospects. The Reds finished the 2022 season with 100 losses and in 4th place, and things just didn't look very promising. Maybe they will be good in the future at some point, but only more pain seemed imminent in Reds fans' futures. That is until 2023. If you're part of the 70% of viewers not subscribed, make sure to hit that button if you enjoy the content. Thank you. Throughout the first couple months of the 2023 season, the Reds were just kinda there. Nothing terribly bad by any means, but not necessarily that good. Luckily, being in the worst division in the National League means they were still in the race, and in the midst of all this, the Reds decided it was time to start calling up some of the young guys, starting with Matt McLain from AAA, and he immediately made a great impression when called up in the middle of May as the team's new shortstop. The hitting overall was solid, and as for the pitching, they have some lockdown arms at the back end, with the starting rotation easily being the biggest question mark filled with holes. So the Reds are just kind of moving along, not winning too much, but not necessarily losing too much either. And that's when the name Elly De La Cruz started to pop up as much as ever. Elly De La Cruz signed with the Reds as an international free agent back in 2018 when he was just 16 years old, eventually becoming arguably the game's #1 prospect this year in 2023. This man had a ton of high expectations, and for good reason. He's extremely tall and athletic, hits the ball harder than anyone, throws the ball harder than anyone, is faster than anyone, and also hits from both sides of the plate. I mean, are you kidding? No, nobody is kidding. He's that talented. And after trading AAA like it was Little League for how dominant he was playing, the Reds eventually had no other choice than to call him up just like they did McLain, except this time it would break the baseball world. Elly De La Cruz quickly became the most hyped up player in Reds history, literally crashing the Reds ticketing website soon after his call-up was announced. Jerseys already filled the team's store. I mean, people were ecstatic, and what has since followed is one of the greatest introductions to a big league career anyone has ever seen. In his very first game, Cruz smoked a double, and it only took just his second game to connect for the first bomb of his big league career, with it going 448 feet deep and leaving the bat at about 115 miles an hour. Skip ahead 2 weeks, and you can argue that Elly De La Cruz saved the Reds, because ever since joining the team, they have become great. They won the first 2 games Elly played in, lost the next 2, and are now in the middle of a winning streak of 11 straight games, and it was the 11th win that really captivated the baseball world. The Reds went into Friday night riding high on a 10-game win streak, about to play a series against the red-hot Braves, who were also on a winning streak of their own, winning their last 8. And things didn't start out very well for the Reds, with the Braves jumping out to a 5-0 lead in the very first inning, silencing the sold-out crowd in Cincinnati. What then followed was arguably the best game of the year so far, and something historic. In the bottom of the second, the Reds offense got things going, with Jake Fraley hitting a 2-run bomb. 1 inning later, another 2-run bomb was hit by none other than Elly De La frickin' Cruz, who also doubled in his first at-bat, hitting a ball on a line that almost got out, hitting off the top of the wall for a double. So with the homer, the Reds were right back in this game. That is before the 39-year-old Joey Votto, who just recently made his return back to the team, connected for a home run of his own, tying the game. Matt Olson then went deep for a 2-run shot, but the Reds came storming back as Ellie hit an RBI single, followed by another home run by Votto, a 3-run bomb to give the Reds a 9-7 lead. And that's when history was made. After a Jonathan India RBI single to make it 10-7 Reds, Ellie De La Cruz walked up to the plate. If you hadn't noticed by now, De La Cruz had smoked a double, hammered a home run, and got a single, a broken bat single earlier, meaning he was now a triple away from the cycle. The issue though is that the triple is the hardest one to get. Well, good thing baseball is easy for Ellie De La Cruz because he'd hit a ball into the gap, legging it out for a triple, securing the cycle. Most players go their entire careers without hitting for one cycle. It took Ellie De La Cruz 2 weeks to get his first one. The Reds went on to win the game, the crowd was absolutely electric, and I feel like Braves fans can't even be upset at what happened. I mean, what's going on right now in Cincinnati is special. There's no doubt about that. And Ellie De La Cruz has quickly become a superstar. He's living up to all the expectations he had going in. It's incredible. And the Reds just won't stop winning. They're currently in first place in the National League Central, clearly have the best raw and young talent in that division, and look like they're starting to form into a winning team that can be good for years to come. Yes, they do need to address some holes like the starting rotation in particular, but the Reds are just incredible right now. After such a dull 2022 season and overall bleak 9-year stretch from the start of 2014 to the start of 2023, Reds baseball seems to be back. The Big Red Machine has made its return in a new form, and it is glorious.